Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here. I'm here with a new talk, with a new speech. And it will be a different speech than you're familiar to, than you're used to that I give. A new speech in regard to form and also in regard to content. It's February 10th, 2021, and I'm giving my speech from my home country in the Netherlands. You may know me from giving lectures and speeches and talks on YouTube and on Facebook about airplanes, about aviation, about my passion for flying. And you may know me for doing my entertainment shows for children or for giving lectures about ancient cultures and about mythology, about things that are somewhere hidden in the time. And now today I made the decision. I want to talk to you about the situation, the status of the world, because I start to be very concerned about what is happening in the world. And I want to take you in our story, because many people all over the world, we are concerned about what is happening. And I'd like to give you my version on our story. So that is the game changer for me and hopefully also for you. I hope you will enjoy it. How long it will take, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 minutes. I did some days ago, I did one in my language, the Dutch language. And now I do it in the English language. And already some people talked to me, they called me up, friends of me, colleagues of me, about, hey Hans, we heard this speech of some days ago, and what about, they wanted to talk about it. And now I'm going to do it for you in the English language, about what is happening in the world. It is about balance, about the great unrest, and about the unbalance. That's where I want to talk to you about this. I'm going to be absolutely open, honest to you, wanting to talk from my heart. Here I have my piece of paper with some of the things I want to join. I want to share with you. And number one I want to share with you is the story of my heart and why we should be concerned in many aspects. You know, it seems that we get more and more conflicts in the world. And why? How come this happens? And if you go all over Facebook and YouTube and all kinds of social media, you find all kinds of people throwing things at each other. This is what I don't want to do. And still, you know, some days ago I heard that the children at the schools in Germany, in Holland, in America, they have to use mask for their mouth. You know, and I also come from the world of clowning, from mime. And I know there's one beautiful, very old language, and that is the language of your mouth, of your face. And that is so much important for children. And I use that all the time in my shows when I do entertainment shows for children. Now, here's the fact that the children cannot see my face anymore. This is no good. This is not something that should endure for a long time. Now, some weeks ago, I wrote a letter to the registered letter to the doctor of my mother, because she will get the injection. She got the injection, and I shared my concern about this injection with her medical doctor, including some more things, because we have to be straight to each other. Now, somehow, dear viewers, it looks like we're throwing things away that we will never get back. And this is the reason I take a big chance today. I take a big chance. Now I take a big chance that people will start to dislike or like me more or less. I will take a chance it will be polarized. I take a chance that I will use people around me. I will take a chance that I lose business, and I'm ready to take the chance. We talk about today about the trias politica and about the trias humana as well. Now I was some weeks ago I was at the manifestation in different cities in Holland to show that we have we have our constitution also in Europe that we should be free to walk on the street wherever we are and share and show our personal opinion with everybody. And this is also now at stake in my country and worldwide. How come? How come? What happens? What happens? What happens? What is unbalance? What is balance? Well, unbalance, I gave a lecture some weeks ago about unbalance. It's that about the technocratic view of many of our leaders in the world. And I said, most of our leaders, they look at life from one standpoint of view, from a technocratic, scientific point of view only. It's that important. What about the other part of life? And we all know, you and I, we all know what the other part of life is. I don't have to explain that, we know that. And what if you give the key of life, if you give the key of world to people that talk from a technocratic point of view? You will get the world as we know it today. Now how if somebody is limited in his skills, in his views, how can you say he's a bad person? You cannot. And still this happens. We look at life from one eye, with one eye closed. So what's the other part? What's the other part then? Science. We look at science. We look from the technocratic things from a mathematical point of view that is big. What about our heart? What about the feeling? What about the mothers I speak to? I hear from all over the world that say, I don't want my child to go to a school where he has to wear a mouth mask, where he has to wash his hands 10 times a day. Why this part of the story, why doesn't it have a vote in the world? That's what I mean with unbalance. It's impossible to look at life only from a scientific point of view, to look at statistics, how things go with the virus or something else. And this is why I talk now from my heart. Because I want to help to rebalance life. And I know for sure that I cannot do this by myself. We need each other. And I do have a call to action at the end of my lecture of today. I do have a call to action for all of us, for you, for me, for everybody. Something that we may have forgotten. And that's why I'm here, knocking on doors knocking on doors of heaven, and knocking on doors of opening your heart, and look around and wake up, because partly we're in a hypnotic situation. We need to wake up and let our heart speak. Let our heart speak, and let our heart be our guiding principle to rebalance the world. And we need to stand up. Because in my opinion, doing nothing, being static, is not an option anymore. We need to rise up and demand our right of birth, our right of living in a balanced, harmonic way. We need to stand up and do our thing. And wherever you and I, we are in our situation, in your family, in your group, with your friends, at your work, in your company, in your political party, in my life, in your life, we need to wake up. We need to wake up. Now, when I was younger, I was a non-paid hypnotherapist. I helped some people, and we started to get experience with hypnosis. And I know, if you are in a hypnosis, you're a different person. And there are a few ways to get out of a hypnosis. I give you the two. One of them is getting pain. If somebody in a hypnosis gets the pain, and the pain could be, hey, I'm losing my salary here. I have to sell my house because I cannot pay it. I see my child suffering at school. That's the pain I talk about. This can wake you up. And sometimes we come in situations in our life that we are in a hypnotic sphere. Think about it. Sometimes we are in that. And then we need to wake up. The second thing to wake up from a hypnotic situation is this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pop! Wake up. Stand up and see around you what's happening in the world. You know, as we have the trias politica in the Western world, we also have a trias humana. And the trias humana is what I learned from doing entertainment shows for children worldwide. The trias, triangle of our existence. You will understand in a few minutes why it has to do with today's situation. It's our head, it's our stomach, and it's our heart. I used to have goats here. Goats. Goats here. If I were to give the goat only food for the stomach and nothing else, he's not happy. If I would give the goat only attention and a hug and cuddling with him without food, he's not happy. The goat needs food, a full heart and a full stomach. And we humans, we also need a good head. So the head, the heart and the stomach needs to work together. Now somewhere there's a disbalance that we obey rules with our head and maybe with our stomach, because our stomach is still filled up. We still get money somehow, at least in my part of the world. And our head is full of thinking, what do I do with the situation that is happening now? And then, what about your heart? What about your heart? Is your heart still awake? Is your heart the story of your heart? Is that still being taken seriously by us, by me, by you, by all of us? Is that still in harmony with thinking? Or are you just following statistics and scientific people who are human as well? Do you know what a perfect person is? A perfect person? A perfect person is a person who knows that he is imperfect. I come from the world of professional flying, and we would say there is no perfect pilot. And the perfect pilot is the pilot who knows that he's imperfect. If you realize, be aware of your situation, your situational awareness, where you are and what you do, you are the best version of yourself, period. And that's why, in my opinion, things go out of balance. That we are not aware in what situation we are. Do you really, with your heart, want to accept what is happening in the world? Do you really want that? Stand up and look around. Do I really want that? You know, the life is all about manifesting who you, in a sense, are. Your authentic being has the birthright to explode into life, to explore all aspects of life. That's why we're here. People say, well, the divine will manifest its or herself through you and me, and wants to do that. This is the essence of being human. We want to be a self-thinking and a well-thinking, exploring creative being. Self-thinking, well-thinking, exploring creative being. Like an adult child in the world, playing with life, enjoying music. Now, in the last weeks, I sometimes think, well, the Shakespeare of 2028, will he be there? The Beethoven of 2031, will he rise? As I see that many young people all over the world are pushed into a corner, not well thinking, not self-thinking, and certainly not so creative as it should be. You know, and I'm 60, in a few months I'm 62 years old. I'm so happy that I'm still alive. I'm healthy. And I had a good life so far. And like a good friend of me told me some time ago, I said, Hans, if I would die today, I would be happy with my life. And also, I would still want to live a lot, far more years. And if I would die, I still would be very happy with my life. And this is, maybe this is why I want to talk to you about this. This is what I see that is at stake, that is at the danger zone. That the young generation, that's why I don't talk for them. I want to do things for them. I want them to have a 120% life to the full. Live life to the max. Be the best version of yourself. And this is in the danger zone. Now, in my opinion, is if we lose this, it's hard or impossible to get it back. And then people say, Hans, you are pessimistic, and come on, give us positive energy. Yes, I am positive, and I'm also realistic. That's why I'm here, because I'm sharing. I did shows for many with other artists, sharing our passion of flying or our passion of living with all the kids, and would have a great time. Impossible now. And there's what's the plan? When can we do this again? There's no plan. And that concerns me. Life is all about playing. And while playing and while traveling all over the world, you find yourself having fun doing so. You know, the original population of Canada, hundreds of years ago, in their stories, they say, well, humans, you, I, we are born with the great unrest. The great unrest. Something inside us wants to revolve, wants to evoke life, wants to get out, wants to manifest him or herself. That's life. So it's all about manifesting who you are. And now it's going to be difficult or impossible. So I'm fighting or doing my thing to wake up all of us that, hey, this is at stake. This is being wasted, thrown into the waste bin. As you all know, humans, we are more than only flesh and blood. We have an inner being. We have desires. We have passions. We have dreams. We have ideas. We have all kinds of things in us that wants to explore life and wants to enjoy life. And now a wise man once told us that the love, what is the enemy of love? And people say, well, hate is love. I said, no, not hate, because love and hate is the same type of emotion. It's a positive or negative. It's still in motion. If you hate something or love something, it still generates life. It still generates things you want to do. It generates things. It makes you active. Loving something or hating something, you get movement. You get into action. And he said, now you know what the real enemy of love is? Indifference. Indifference, well, I'll wait. See what happens tomorrow or next week. I just do nothing. And somehow this seems to creep in us, that we are indifferent of what's happening around us. We feel bombarded with so many information and non-information and anti-information and all kinds of things, that we just relax and sit and lay back and do nothing. And that's why I'm here, because we need to wake up. This is the true enemy. Indifference. Wake up. Start doing something in your life. Now I draw a line in the sand for me. And again, I take a big risk by telling this, because I share my opinion of today with you. And I may be ridiculed, I may be thrown out of social media, which already happened to me. Some of my videos, neutral videos with my opinion, not calling for violence or nothing. I was censored on social media because the diversity of our opinions, which is the true essence of being and of democracy, is at stake as well. And I found it very painful to see that somebody else says, well, you're not allowed to say that. Well, it's a peaceful thing. I just say my opinion. No, it's not allowed. This is a road, if we think about it from our heart, we don't want to be there. So my call to action for all of us is wake up. Shut off the television. See around you. Rise above yourself like the phoenix out of the fire. Rise around to the next level of existence and look around what's happening in your life. And think about it. And keep your stomach full with good food. And let your heart see. Look with 3 eyes. 1, 2, and the eye from the heart. And see if you still agree what's happening in the world around you, around us, around me. And the call to action is to do that. For you, for your children, for your mother, for your lovely wife, husband, for your grandchildren, for your brother, your sister, your fellow people, from your village, from your nation, from your culture. I love cultures. Everybody is different. Every human is different. And every culture is different. Every human and every culture deserves to be defended. Deserves to be put in the highest position that it can be. Diversity in cultures, diversity in people. So that's my call to action. Look around, take action, wake up, get out of the hypnosis. And then we talk to each other next time. Oh, some hours ago, a good friend of mine, lady friend, she sent me a beautiful video. It's a heart-opening video. It's a story, a real story, what happened about a little bird. It takes about 8-9 minutes. And that atmosphere, that video, that is a heart opener. I've put a link down here in the text. If you have time, look at it. It will make our heart weak. And isn't that all about life? To get a weak and a strong heart. Thank you.